Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I am amped for today because the business plan was super fun, but low-key, this is the stuff that's really fun for me because I get to see discomfort in you, which means that you're growing, which I love. So yay. So a little quote. Has anybody here read Atomic Habits? Okay, Atomic Habits or Compound Effect, both fantastic books. I'm more of a Compound Effect girl. However, James Clear has some really, really good quotes in the Atomic Habits, so I'm constantly stealing his words. This is one of those quotes. So goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. So last time we did our business plan, and now we have these beautiful plans, and I think that that's where so many real estate agents stop. And so now we need to start to do the real work of putting those plans into systems so that you can actually start to make progress in your business. So hopefully we feel pretty good about our business plans. And if you don't, it's okay, because as we go through, you're gonna realize really quickly if something is not gonna work, or if you did it a little bit incorrect. You'll feel it pretty soon as we start to dig into this. So a little bit of an agenda. We're gonna have a quick energizer just because I like you guys to mix and mingle and meet one another because we're really a team. My wife was asking me earlier, like, how's the program going? And I said, it's really, really fun because I have the same group of people every time rather than new people coming in and out of classes. And so I'm really enjoying that. I hope you guys are enjoying that, and I hope that you lean on each other. We'll go through our homework learning. I'm gonna do a bit of education about the activity tracker and how to use it and what it looks like, because everybody should have access to theirs now. And then we're gonna actually get it set up here today. So I'm gonna give you a couple of time blocks to knock that out. So if you don't have your homework up right now, I'd pull that up. And if you don't have your activity tracker, I would pull that up. And if you have not updated the program tracker, you should pull that up too. Then we'll start to implement our calendar. I know that it's not time for calendar. Calendar is in a month, but we really can't do the activity tracker effectively without starting to bring in the calendar. And also the calendar is like the best tool that we have as real estate agents. So no, I can't cover all of it in a 2-hour workshop, so lucky you, we're gonna start with it today. So you should have your calendar up too. I'll give you some tools, tips, and tricks, and then we'll run through homework for our next accountability call in 2 weeks. Are we ready? Woo! Okay, so I'm only gonna give you like 2 minutes. I just want you to get up, go to the opposite side of the room, and I want you to describe how you're arriving today with 2 words. So I'm energetic, or I'm tired, I'm excited, I'm overwhelmed, whatever it is, just tell that person 2 words as to how you're showing up today. Go. So really quickly, before we jump in, the program tracker is looking good, but it's still a little bit bleak because I know who's attended things and who hasn't, and I'm looking at it like, huh. So pull up the program tracker really quickly and go ahead and block off today because you were here. And if there's anything else that you've done, the homework for today, the prep for today, whatever, go ahead and put an X on it now too. From my last calculation, there are about 13 to 15 of you that are still on track to attend everything through the whole program, where we'll be raffling off some free coaching. Devin's sad because she's not gonna get free coaching. But you get a free program, that's pretty good. Yeah. Pay for the coaching, get the free program. It's
I'm just sad that I'm not going to be here the last day.
Yeah, I know. Last day is going to be lit. It's going to be lit. Okay. Homework learning. So I tried to keep it light. Hopefully it was. I get a nod. Allie, how long did it take you, do you think? Less than 10 minutes. That's pretty good from the like 4 hours you guys had to do last go. Yeah, okay. And we'll only have one other really big homework time. I just want to drop that little nugget now for some of you that I know don't have your CRM figured out. That's going to be our January workshop. And that could be a really heavy lift if it's something that you don't have figured out. So just as one small little nugget, really good to identify what CRM you're gonna use. I like Follow Up Boss. Use what you wanna use. I really love Follow Up Boss. Most high producers I know use that. Or
how do you feel about Follow Up Boss with them just being acquired by Zillow? And I've heard some stories about like leads and what they've got access to and
Yeah.
everything, so I just.
How do you feel
I was
about-
looking into both.
Are you still using showing time?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
But
fine.
with our leads,
I'm not particularly worried about it, but you know, they're good at what they do. I'm not surprised Zillow acquired them. They're freaking good. So anyways, just as a small nugget, to get a CRM, start getting your contacts in there if it's not something you've done, so that it's not so painful over the 2 weeks of Christmas. That would suck.
I have a good one for my business planning, that was a good goal. I actually scheduled time with Channing yesterday, and I actually kind of went over like the options.
Fantastic. Did everyone hear that? So she scheduled time with Channing to go over the options to find and select one. Love that proactivity. Yeah.
You told me next steps, what to do in order to like get everything in there smoothly, and yeah.
Yeah. One other little nugget for my people that are like technologically challenged. Yeah, you know who you are. I have to tell you that ChatGPT gives such good advice for how to navigate softwares. It's probably the best for me. Like I've Googled things and it is not nearly as effective as ChatGPT. So please use ChatGPT if you're struggling with a software. Just tell it what you want it to do and it'll tell you. Okay, so our learning. So does everybody, let's go opposite. Did anybody not get access to their individual activity tracker?
I changed my email, so I'm about to email it back.
Okay, perfect. Hit me up in a minute when we start and I'll give you yours. Did everybody get the opportunity to list out their activities and the frequency? Okay. I would love to hear what learning you guys have had, if any. I know that this was a short amount of homework, but how was it? Like, did you take anything away when you went from business plan to actually needing to list this out in a cadence? Did anybody have any big ahas?
Sweating.
What was that?
Sweating.
Sweating?
Worrying about committing to it.
Ooh, committing to it. Isn't that real? It takes the idea and it makes it something that you actually have to go do. By the way, what's really fantastic about this is it's feedback for yourself. So the next time you go to goal set, you're going to be thinking about the implementation of it a little bit more and you'll set more realistic goals. So you're just going to get better at this every single time. So that's normal. Thanks for sharing.
Like I'm scared to rest it down, so I have these little post-its that I can move in my calendar.
Nice.
To write on. So I'm scared to like, for sure this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're getting there, but slow.
Baby steps. Anybody else have any good learning? Any other ahas, or this felt pretty comfy? I haven't seen any of you comfortable this whole time, so this is really exciting. Okay, and before we start jumping into what we're about to do with these, I just wanted to give an opportunity. Does anybody need clarity on any activities? Do you have questions on what they should be?
I think for me, it's like Sphere. When you're calling them, is it, I put like 36 touch, but like, what other ways? I think with me, like I'm like, do I just call everybody, or should I just do Popeyes? Would that be considered on Sphere too?
So if you are implementing a 36 touch, you would want to have this hashed out and what your plan is. So 12 of those touches might be a newsletter, so it's one monthly newsletter. 12 of those touches might be HomeBot or Boomerang. Maybe 8 of those touches are doing 2 client events. And maybe one's a quarterly phone call.
Okay.
But to figure out how do you actually quantify it, because there's an important thing there that I've had to work with my coaching clients on too, is it's okay, how many people are in your 36 touch? If you want to be able to break this down to a weekly. So let's say you're going to do 200 people are in your 36 touch, and you want to get in touch with them at a cadence of, let's say, twice a year. So that means every 6 months, you need to be making 200 phone calls. So if we divide that 200 by 6, then we figure out, okay, you need to be making about 35 phone calls a month. Then you divide that by 4 to figure out, okay, I need to be making 10 phone calls a week to my 36 touch. Did that make sense? So it's just continuing to break it down into smaller and smaller chunks. I wouldn't necessarily go down to day, because I think it's a lot easier to miss those. In a week, you've still got some flexibility. If you have a couple crazy days, you have other days to make things up. Thanks for asking that question. Any others? Anything else we need to hash out? Yeah. Activities and projects, yeah. How do we distinguish? So for the sake of your activity tracker, this is only going to be your activities, which are things that you're doing consistently. Projects are something you do once. So if it's a project, one of our past homeworks was put all of the projects that you need to get done to be able to do your activities into your calendar through the end of the year, but those are a one-time thing. Our activity tracker is stuff that's recurring. Fantastic question, Jason. I saw a couple people take notes, so I think you're not the only one that needed that. Anybody else? Any other questions? Yeah.
Yes. I have a lot of my stuff mapped out on K4, so I have tasks already, like with my 36 touch, each person in that system, I know, I'll get a task when it's time to call them or whatever. So
Yeah.
when I was figuring out my weekly activities, most of that stuff's already in my CRM, so it's like mostly, okay, well, this is when I didn't need my CRM.
Yeah, so you're like, how do I figure out to track it, right? Because maybe this week I've only got 5 tasks, but next week I have 15. That's okay, you'll still put in what you're doing. And then after about a month, you're gonna see, am I hitting the goals over the course of a month that I need to be hitting, or actually are there not enough tasks in there? Because maybe the frequency is a little off. And I get that because I set up 6-month follow-ups for my clients. And so there's certain times where it's like, oof, I got a lot to do in this month. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, Brian?
So I have some of my projects, I've gone into your supporting activities, project ideas, checked off certain things. Do you have anything more specific for the implementation or just?
Of projects?
Yeah, so for example.
Yeah.
Annual review meetings 4 times a week, January to March. What would it look, so that could be for anybody in my database, right? So have you honed in on specifics for any of this, or we just need to figure that out?
I'm a little confused on the question, so I want to make sure I'm hearing it. So annual reviews. So you mean going through and giving people like an updated valuation of their home?
I assume that's what it is.
Yeah. And doing it 4 times a week. Is that what it had said for the first 3 months of the year, and now you've knocked all those out? I see that as a 36 touch activity for the most part, because you're going to be doing a bunch of touches for one specific task early in the year, and then you don't have to do it the rest of the year.
Okay.
So that's something that I would personally,
Kind of reaching out to everybody and offering and then deliver.
I got you.
That.
Yeah, so then probably the way that I would break it down is I would not just do January through March, because you don't need to. You can do an annual review for people at any time of year, and I would figure out, hey, I'm gonna do 2 a week. I wanna do 2 annual reviews a week. And then that will help you figure out, okay, well, I need to send out 20 emails every month to be able to have enough people to do this with every week. Does that make sense? Okay. Other questions? Now's the time. Speak now or forever hold your peace, because we're going to start to get into this pretty quickly. So if you have questions, please ask. Don't be afraid. Feeling good? Sweet. Well, then let's do it. What the heck is a tracker? You guys have all seen it, right? You've pulled it up, the one that I shared with you at least, so you have kind of a visual on it to more or less understand. It's basically your weekly operating and accountability system. Why I love this is because sometimes you end up knee-deep in your business, out showing houses, doing this and doing that, and as soon as we get busy as real estate agents, what do we stop doing? Lead generation. Yeah, the thing that's gonna keep you busy 90 days from now. So what I love is having something in front of my face that I know these are my core activities, so it's okay if I get busy as long as I keep doing these. And maybe I fall off 1 week because I had 55 showings. That just means the following week I want to double up because I don't want to have a lull 90 days from now. So it will act as your internal accountability system with yourself, but also your operational system. I have so many real estate agents that ask me to sit down and like, let's go get coffee or lunch or whatever. And I hear this so many times that they're like, I wake up and I don't know what I'm supposed to do that day. Just look at your sheet, right? That'll tell you exactly what you need to do. So it's just constant clarity. And then as you go to classes and things throughout the year, you'll have new ideas that pop up because that happens all the time and we get excited, and then that starts to pull us away from the things we really need to be doing. So this also gives you kind of a way to qualify those activities. Does that fit into my business plan? Is this something additional I'm willing to take on, or is this actually a distraction from these things? So it's a living list that records specific repeatable actions at specific frequencies. So that's what I was saying a little bit to Brian of breaking down, like, hey, this is the stuff that you're just doing ongoing. This is your recipe for success. Those little one-hit things fall more into the project category. So important, this next one. Because I haven't had the opportunity to review your activities list, I need you to review your activities list in a moment and make sure that this ties directly to your business plan. Because this is where people get a little awry. They're like, oh, well, I'll post on social media 5 times. That's great if that's an addition, but if you're thinking that's one of your core activities, but social media isn't one of your core pillars in your business plan, doesn't make sense. So pull up your activities list really quickly and just do a final check, compare it against your business plan. Does this directly tie into one of my pillars? And if anyone has a question on anything, just let me know too. Yeah.
I am previewing houses, but that's just something I want to do because I want to keep myself accountable for that, although it doesn't really necessarily fit in any of my buckets, but that was just something that I think is important and it will keep me attractive for them to do.
Yeah. So I would say this is like an additional activity that you want to keep yourself accountable to. I think that that's worth putting in so long as all your other activities tie directly to the plan. And this is just more of a thing that you like to do to feel confident, right? Like then, yeah, it's part of your recipe for success. Have it on there. Yeah.
Or are you making social media videos about the going out to the house and then
Well, because that's kind of what I was
Mm-hmm.
then it is part of your
okay. Then I'll have to put it previewing on social media.
Yeah, or you have a social media activity, right? Which is, okay, the previewing house is how you hit your social media goal, but the goal is actually social media. Any other questions? No? Okay. So let's talk about why you should use an activity tracker. I said this earlier, but it takes your plan and it puts it into action. Right? From the activity tracker, you still have to go do it, but it takes it a step further to make you more likely to actually go implement your business plan. Activity trackers create focus. I just talked about that with qualifying a little bit, is it helps you distinguish what you need to do versus what you might want to do. Which there's so many distractions in real estate all the time that I rely on this a lot. Anytime I'm freaking out, it's like, no. What are my core activities? Have I hit those? Everything's fine. Everything's going to be just fine. It helps you to create consistency. Who here has struggled with consistency in their real estate business? Right. You're probably not a real estate agent if you're really good at consistency, at least when you first started. Let's be real. The people that are attracted to sales are people that are like a flash in the pan, right? That's totally fine, but this is one of those skill sets that we want to work on. This is how you can create consistency. It gives you a feedback loop. So as you guys probably remember painfully from the business plan setup, you guys had to go look at what are the activities that I did over the last year and what were my results of those. You're going to be able to do that in real time because you're going to keep tracking, oh, I've done 15 open houses this quarter and I haven't gotten a single lead from that yet. Do I really want to keep pushing myself to continue doing this activity? Right? So it's a constant feedback loop with your activities as to if they're really working. My recommendation on cadence of checking in, and we'll talk about this at a future workshop, but at least once a quarter, you should be sitting down at the end of the quarter, how did I do compared to my goals? That'll all be right here. And is there anything I want to change? Because sometimes the market shifts too. Right? And we've all had, I just use open houses because it's easy. There's been periods of time when open houses have been fantastic. There's also been periods of time where they've been terrible. And so it allows you to kind of have that time to pause and think, do I want to just keep rocking with this activity or do I want to change it? If you have consistent inputs, you will start to have predictable outputs. This is one of the most important things I learned back from running a painting company. I knew that if I got 10 leads every week, that I would hit my production goal for the year. I just have to go get 10 leads every week, which for me meant that I needed 10 hours of door-to-door marketing time every week, whether that was me or a marketer. And so that was the activity that I was tracking. So as long as I've got 10 hours of door-to-door marketing happening every week, we will be just fine. So what'll start to happen as you do this is you'll start to see, okay, for every 10 open houses I do, I'll get 1 closed client, right? It allows you to do that math that you had to do with business planning in real time. And then that's gonna really help you feel confident of, wow, I'm seeing that for every 5 open houses, I'm getting a closed client. Guess what that's gonna make you wanna do? More open houses. Yeah, because you see that it's working. It gives you momentum. I think this is also really important. Initially, it's not gonna necessarily give you momentum. It might hurt you. That's okay. It'll be good once you get used to it. But being able to look at your spreadsheet every week and know, hey, I did these 5 things really well. Maybe I missed these 2, but I did these 5. It's gonna start to make you feel good about yourself and your business too, and more productive, as long as you're having positive self-talk around it. It gives you accountability because there is a visual representation of what you did versus what you said you were gonna do. Why people don't like activity trackers when you start is because you have to face yourself. That's not always easy. Sometimes that sucks. I said I was gonna do all these things and I only did 50% of them. What's amazing about that though is the opportunity that you have of, yes, I did 50% of these. How can I get to 100? Next week, I'm gonna try to do 60%. The following week, I'll try to do 70%. And you wanna try to get up to hitting those as often as possible, of course. Okay, so you guys all have your trackers up right now? Okay. So I'm just gonna pull up mine that I set up for 2026 and just kind of take you through what it looks like. So the first tab here is deal tracking. This is incredibly basic. People that I've coached with have added additional columns like commission, right, or GCI, because they want to see what that is. You can add additional columns if you want, but this is like the basic of what you need. And so you'll put in any deals that you have under contract here. It totals it for you. And then once you have something closed, you move it to closed. And at the top of this, it'll add up the current under contracts, the current solds, and then it'll have this amount that it's year-to-date anticipated. This is something that you have to change throughout the year, right? So once we get through Q1, it's more likely that maybe you'll do 3 more times Q1. So you're gonna multiply it by 0.3, right? And towards the end of the year, that number goes less and less and less. So right now I've got mine at whatever I've got pending and under contract or sold is what I'm gonna end the year at. Because we're in November. So unless somebody goes under contract in the next 3 weeks, they're not closing through the end of the year. Does that make sense on this? So don't forget, because you might start to be like, what the heck is this year-to-date anticipated thing? Once you get halfway through, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I've closed 5 million, and it says I'm gonna close 20 million, but it's July. You're probably not gonna close 20 million, so don't forget about that. One other aside, one reason I like Follow Up Boss too is that they have deal trackers in there. A lot of CRMs have that, but I do like theirs, so it gives you another visual representation of this if that works better for your brain. Okay, so the activity tracker itself, I've put a key at the bottom of each of these, and this is really important that you look at this and don't mess it up, or it'll mess up all your calculations. So what's in purple are your goals. So that's what we're gonna fill out here in a minute, but you're gonna put in your goals for the whole year. And then all you need to do and update every single week is what your actual results were. So the only thing that you'll change after today is gonna be the pink columns or the pink rows. Does that make sense? Okay. For me personally, if you have an admin, I have an additional sheet for my admin with their defined activities so that we're on the same wavelength of these are the things that you need to get done every week. And yeah, we're gonna have stuff that comes up and you're gonna get overwhelmed, and just remember, as long as you're doing these things, I'm happy. So just know you can use this for other people on your team. Back when I had a real estate team, we used this for each and every agent. We had a shared one so we could see each other's results and it totaled everybody's. So if you have a real estate team, this is also something that you might look at implementing with your agents. It's really helpful. Gives you something to go off of in your weekly or biweekly coaching calls. And then the other thing I just want to show you is that this should do the math for you. So I've already put in my goals for the year on this one, and then it totals everything for me at the end of each quarter. And then all the way at the end, it gives me an annual total. So you can always see, okay, this is how many I've done of this thing versus what I need to do for this year. Good? Okay. So really quick, I want you to make 2 more copies of your spreadsheet. So in Google Docs, you'll go up to File and put Make a Copy. This was recommended in my follow-up email to you, so if you've already done this, fantastic. If you have not, please go ahead and make 2 more copies and then change the titles. So one is going to be 2025, one is going to be 2026, and then one is going to be master copy, or primary copy would be a better way to say that.
Took a minute, but they got it.
It was a real estate joke. Yeah. And just look up whenever you guys are done so that I know we can move on. Yeah.
Primary 2026
In 2025. So one of them will be your 2025, one will be your 2026, and one will be your primary copy. Your future self is going to thank you for this action right now. Is anybody else having trouble making copies? No? Okay.
So I've already renamed it, but.
Okay. Let's go back to. Who's got permissions? You are an editor. Weird. Okay. Pull up your Google Drive, perhaps. And we'll look at that in a second. And I can send you another one in a minute. As soon as we start, let me just send you 2 more.
Can we go back to the original? I'll make another copy.
Yeah, yeah, see if that works. Okay, everybody good? All right, fantastic. Off to the races. So you're gonna pull up your 2025 sheet first. That's what we're gonna start with. And you're gonna put in your activities into that left column. So whatever the things are that you're tracking. And what I'd recommend that you do is you list out, like if it's a newsletter, put newsletter, and then in parentheses, put how frequently you're doing it. So monthly.
I didn't put things that are automated on like my newsletter.
Do you have to do anything for it?
I mean, add people to it.
Yeah, so maybe yours is more of it's a weekly database time. It's 1 hour to make sure newsletter's good to go. Boomerang, HomeBot, updating things.
Are we starting with the annual?
It doesn't matter. You're just going to list out any of them. It doesn't matter if it's annual, if it's monthly, if it's weekly. Just put in the parentheses what cadence it is. So list out all your activities for the year.
What is it? Sorry, in the annual sheet, in the annual.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The weekly, right?
Oh, yeah, it's the weekly. Yeah. And you can change the annual one too. You just want to make sure it's the right order so that it's, because I set it up to be smart. It's probably dumb, but I set it up to be smart for you guys so that it would total on that page for you too. Yeah. Sorry, yours looks a little different than mine, so I forgot about that. Is that what happened? No, it was. Oh, okay, no, it wasn't. I'm a loser, I know. No. Yeah, that equals sign is really tricky because you can do that with formulas, but not with words. Yeah. Had to make one change on that, I know. Snazzy.
Yeah, I learned that when I changed the first date.
Yeah,
So I was like,
bam.
had the calendar and I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna suck. And no, change that first one. And I was like, ooh.
+7
Yes.
equals date +7. Sophisticated. Okay, so you'll put your activities in for the 2025 there. And now you're going to go through and you're going to put them in for the rest of the year into the actual goal sections. Okay, so once you've listed your activities, you're going to start to put your goals in. And let me show you what this looks like, because I'm sure there's going to be questions. Okay, so you're only going to edit the purple stuff. We're not editing the red. So the first one here is I've got monthly newsletter. Well, it's like, well, then where do I put it? I only send this out once a month. Look at the dates, pick 1 week. For me, mine always goes out the second week of the month. So I put in 1, because that's when I'm sending out that monthly newsletter. And then I fast forward over to February, and the second week, bam, there's a 1, because that's when I'm sending out that monthly newsletter. It's a little easier when it's weekly, right? Like one of them is record 1 video per week. So I've just got 1s all the way across. Just don't change the quarterly one, that bright yellow thing, leave that alone, because that's doing math for you.
How are you calculating like birthday, home anniversaries, holiday cards?
Yeah, so one of the questions was birthdays, home anniversaries, holiday cards. What you guys need to break down and think about is what is the cadence that you're doing those? How can you break that down into something that goes into a spreadsheet like this? Holiday cards, that's probably just going to be a touch, right? So if you're putting in a 36 touch as one of them, then that's going to be one of your touches in December. It's just a 1. I'm sending out a holiday card. If you're doing birthdays, maybe it's that you send 20 birthdays, or it's that you spend 1 hour sending birthdays a month, birthday cards a month. That's something that now you can track. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's easiest with the 36 touch to just have it as 1 line personally. Personally, it's 1 activity as a 36 touch, and you're just putting in.
Do you block off
In my calendar? Well, that's a separate thing, but for the actual like amounts, right, that would just mean that you have 3 little 1s during a month.
Oh, okay.
And one of them's your newsletter, one of them's Boomerang, one of them's something else. Is anybody stuck? No? Brent, did you get the spreadsheets figured out? Okay. Okay, let me just share 2 extras with you.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
So,
Have to restart it.
what I did, and I think what they're doing right now, because it makes it a little bit easier, is to freeze that first column, so that when you're all the way at the end of the
Yeah,
year,
you can.
still see your, so just in case anybody else was questioning.
So that's set up on mine already. So you should be able to just hit right and then,
Go all the way down,
yeah. So all the way down to view more column options, I can't speak. And then you hit freeze column. That's just so that when you scroll, you see how mine, that left one doesn't move. So it just makes it easier when you're going through. You guys are getting an Excel masterclass at the same time. Who knew? Brent, you still need those copies?
No.
Okay, perfect. Making my life easy.
What if we have like a monthly and a quarterly and an annual list? Should we just add the monthly and quarterly later?
So you should be putting everything in here. So your total activities that you're tracking go in here, because otherwise, how else are you going to track them?
Oh, so, well, I'm looking at the weekly activity tracker and the annual.
So the annual activity tracker, to be really clear, that is not something that you are changing. That is something that lines up with your weekly activity tracker. It's not a different thing. You just change the things that you're tracking. What it's doing on your annual is it's totaling everything for you for the year in a more visible way. So not 2 separate things. So what's on your activity tracker, your activities are weekly, they're monthly, they're annual. Everything goes on this sheet.
So I need to put the same activities on the.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for clarifying.
These questions are so helpful, so the next time I do this, I can make it way less clunky. So thank you. Okay, one of the questions I'm getting, it's about birthday cards, because this one's tricky, because we don't know how many people have birthdays in what month and whatever. So what Becca is doing is putting in that she's going to send out 5 birthday cards a month. Perfect. If you end up sending out more than that, you'll just put that into your actual. This is one of these activities that it's going to be a little funky, but what matters is at the end of the year, right? It's the total goal for the year that they went out for all of your 36 touch. So just don't stress about it too much. Like, okay, yeah, one month you'll put in that you did 10, the next month it'll be 3, but you know that you sent them out for that month. The other way to track that would be, instead of putting a number to it, you just put birthday cards sent out for 36 touch this month. Just a quick little tip too, I saw some people, you were clicking and then putting in a number, re-clicking and then putting in a number.
It's a learning curve.
All you need is an arrow and a number. You put in the number, you hit the arrow, pop, 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 done.
Until you accidentally fill in the yellow.
And you gotta slow down so you don't fill in the yellow. And then you hit Control Z, which is undo, and then bop, 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 bop. So just as one pro tip, it will help you go faster in the future. But what's so fun about this is I know that was tedious, but you just filled out an entire activity tracker for the rest of this year and all of next year. And you were able to do that in about 30 minutes. Fantastic. It does not take you that long to get the system set up for you to use every single week in your business. So tedious, but just remember you'll be able to copy and paste in the future, which is going to make it a lot easier. So now what? We have a plan. We have our system for tracking. But now it's time to start doing the work on the doing, which requires another system. Right, so we made a really good plan. We figured out how we were going to stick to that plan. But now how are we actually going to go execute every week? Which is our calendar. So I'm going to give you some instruction. The panic I see on some faces right now. It's so good. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, everyone has their calendar pulled up. You need your calendar pulled up and you need your activity tracker pulled up. This is bringing me immense joy. I just need you to know, immense joy. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go activity by activity, okay? Do not get ahead of yourself, activity by activity. And you're gonna put in recurring calendar blocks into your calendar for each activity at the cadence that you need it to be recurring. Meaning, if you are sending out a monthly newsletter, however long it takes you to do all of your work for the newsletter, you would maybe do a 3-hour time block or a 2-hour or 5-hour, whatever it is, and you'll put that in for whatever day of the month you typically do it. Maybe it's the first Monday or the second Wednesday, whatever. And then in the settings of that, you're gonna put in repeat every month. So here in a couple minutes, you're not only gonna have your activity tracker done, you're gonna have calendar blocks for all of these activities through the end of 2025 and 2026. Most of these calendar blocks you can set up when it ends. Don't do that. It's forever. It's forever. It's for the end of your life. No, I'm just kidding. Again, what'll happen is at the end of each quarter and at the end of each year, that's when you'll fine tune these things. But what I find is oftentimes it's just fine tuning. It's not eliminating. And you'll learn as you go. So set it up to be recurring indefinitely at whatever cadence. So it's either weekly or it's monthly, it's bi-monthly, it's quarterly. Go activity by activity. And you'll set it up to start, how does next week sound?
Today.
Just kidding.
The panic. Yeah, what does next week mean? That means like starting Monday.
Next Monday?
Yeah. Oof. Ooh, no. Oh my God, I have to do all these things. Here's the good news, okay? Just a little pause. When we set up your goals, this was for 2026, right? These are supposed to be for 2026. So it's okay that you're putting them in your calendar and you might be missing them because that wasn't the intention from the beginning, but it is to start getting you into the flow of understanding this is how much time this stuff is going to take in a week. Am I really committed to this? And probably this is some stuff that you need to be doing right now. So you'll start doing it, but really what we're doing is we're getting to start using the activity tracker. That's why I need these in there. It's okay if you hit 30% of them. You weren't supposed to be hitting 100 until January. Devin, you had a question?
And don't forget to put another calendar event to check and update your activity.
Oh yeah,
tracker.
we'll do that in a minute. Don't you worry.
We do this in the beginning of, I'm sorry, we do this in the beginning of the week, right, so we can move it around?
So the question is the beginning, where do you set them for? The beginning of the week so you can move it? That's a really interesting thing. No, put the time blocks when you're going to do it and make a commitment to yourself. This is your calendar. It's not a suggestion, it's a schedule. Follow it. That was not to be harsh at you by any means. That's to everybody. So as an example, I cannot do administrative tasks in the afternoon. I want to go be around people in the afternoon. So I like to do all of my admin stuff in the morning and my meetings in the morning when I'm fresh as daisies, and I just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get the stuff done that I don't want to do so the rest of the day gets easier. So I try to schedule my stuff from 8 to noon. That doesn't work for everybody. I've coached a lot of different business owners. What I've seen, especially with my creative brains, is that they need like a 5-hour time block once a week to do all of their administrative tasks. If you're gonna set that up as your recurring time block, that's fine, but you need to list in that time block, there's a description. You need to list what you're getting done in there so that you know what it is. So for example, on Google Calendar, I have this meeting yesterday, right? And I've got bullet points for this calendar block of what I want to talk about. You would do the same thing. If it's a 5-hour block that's recurring, that's fine, but put in the bullet points of what are you getting done in that 5-hour block. You can do it either way. I am definitely more of a person that I like to know exactly how long I have for something because it drives me to be more productive. If I have a 5-hour block, I spend 30 minutes messing around at the beginning, maybe take some time in between, do some chores, do whatever. Whereas when I know I have 30 minutes to get this done and that's just enough time to get this done, I'm not playing around. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to do this, so keep going. Get your calendar blocks in.
So I have 5 contacts,
Mhm.
25 combos per week.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
an hour for
Great question. So the question is like, some of you guys are tracking calls and CRM ads and stuff. So you'll want to figure out what makes sense for you. I'm a really big fan of not having to switch gears. I used to run 2 businesses at the same time. And what I found is that it was so mentally taxing to have to constantly change between things. So personally, what I like to do is my follow-up boss time each week is 1 hour. And I knock all of it out. So if you're going to do calls, just sit down and do all of your calls at one block. I find that that's when you get into the best flow. There's less resistance because you're not having to get yourself off the fence each day to make 5 calls. You just do it once and then you just crank through.
And then do you create it as event or task, like on yours?
In Google? It's an event. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So what about like, I like to do a happy hour or a lunch or walk or something once a week, that's one of my tasks, but that's kind of varied.
Yeah. So what I would,
Plan for that?
so for those, what I'd recommend is maybe on Monday you put in a 30-minute time block of schedule 2 lunches this week. The other thing you could do, because you guys are all going to start to get a lot busier in real estate, is you could block off, hey, Wednesdays and Thursdays are the days that I go for lunch, and you block off 2 hours each of those days. And then on Monday, it's fill those time slots. If someone can't do those, fine, look at the following week. I got Wednesday and Thursday every day this month at noon. Which one works for you? Okay. I'm gonna give you like 3 to 4 more minutes, maybe 5. Maybe 6. Do you need help? Or you're good? Do you need battery? Or it just died? It died, okay. We'll take notes. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, and we should have the recording probably within a week to 10 days or something like that, so I'll send this out too.
Yes. I got a question. For these tests and their activities, what color do you have them?
Ooh, color coding.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on that in a month. Right now, I would maybe just pick one color for all of these because these are all the fundamental building blocks of your business. So it'll signal to your brain, yeah, this is the stuff that I can't skip. A lot of people like to use green because it means money. These are the activities I need to do to make money, so they're green. Your homework, and we're not done with the workshop yet, but I want to tell you what your homework is to use the activity tracker for the next 2 weeks. Because this will be a great time for you to iron out any bumps. You'll use your activity tracker for the next 2 weeks. And what's so fun is I should have access to them. I will know. I will know. And then we have an accountability call in 2 weeks. So we're going to talk about it then too. So if you realize something, maybe take a note. Because it'd be really nice if you could share that with the group too on our accountability call. Because you guys are going to be individually learning. So it'd be great to bring that for the group learning if you can. But that's really simple homework, right? Use the spreadsheet for the next 2 weeks. No? You need more? I have more. No? Okay. No. What'd you say? 2 weeks from today, yes. Okay. Okay. So you have this system now, right? We've made a plan. We've got a tracker. We've put these into our calendar. But then there is one critical thing that it all falls apart if you don't do. It's the glue. So on every Sunday evening or Sunday morning, but I always recommend it's the end of your week. I do not recommend doing this on Monday. It's important to go into your week with fresh energy and all of this stuff done, not playing catch up. So you should set one more recurring time block for yourself right now on Sunday morning or Sunday evening. I would recommend doing at least 30 minutes, maybe closer to an hour. What I have found is that when I start getting into my tracker, I end up looking ahead to the next week as well and working on my calendar. And so it just kind of ends up being my business organization time. I do it on Sunday nights. And it's just going to be to update your tracker and organize your calendar. That's what that time block is for. So for Sunday evening or mornings, and remember, this should be recurring. No, you're totally fine. Okay, did everybody get this recurring time block in? I don't want to just like gloss over that because what I just showed you how to do is so important for anything you guys are doing in your business. So I want to break it down just a little bit. Julie, can I use you as an example for a second? So Julie's having a hard time with her calendar right now. And she's like, I need to spend some time outside of the workshop working on this, but I've got my list of things to put into the calendar. It would be a fantastic idea for Julie to not just leave it there, because right now you've got a plan on paper, but we need an action plan. So to go ahead and put in an hour-long calendar block for tomorrow or the next day or whatever to do this thing. If you came to any of my classes, especially the How to Run Your Business Like a Business, you heard me say at least 5 times, put it in your calendar, put it in your calendar, put it in your calendar. Anything that you need to be doing, like you just finished with something, put it in your calendar. Anytime I have a conversation with a client and it's, oh, I need to send out agency documents. Before I get off the call, I'm like, 1 second, put it into my calendar so that I know that I need to do that thing. So that I'm never having to look back, because I find that when we have to look back, we never take the time to look back. So you just need to keep stuff in front of you all the time. Did that make sense? Can somebody give me an example of maybe something in the last 1 or 2 weeks that maybe they dropped the ball on, that if they had done this, they might not have dropped the ball on?
I think for me personally, it'd be today, like I was scheduled to be here at 9, and I didn't know, I had forgotten that me and Casey were gonna work together. So I was like, why am I here? And then like, it doesn't start till 10. I'm like, what? So if I would have put notes on my calendar, that would have helped me like, oh, we're supposed to meet, we're supposed to work on this. Like,
Yeah. So what happened is you two spoke and agreed we're going to meet at 9 a.m. Instead of just leaving it there, you put a calendar block in for 1 hour that you're meeting, and then you have a 2-hour time block in for the workshop. Yeah. Yeah. This happens all the time. And if you can just get into this practice, you have a conversation, something comes up, put it into your calendar. Just immediately go to your calendar every single time. Because you can always move what's in your calendar, but at least it stays in front of you. Devin?
I always notice for me, because we drive a lot all day, and something will come up, and you're like, okay, I'll call them later today, or I'll do this, or I'll do that on tomorrow, or whatever. And I have a Google phone, so it's easy for me to hang up as I'm driving, say, okay, Google set calendar event for blah, 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 and then just get it in there while you're thinking of it so that you don't even have to worry about forgetting about it.
Yeah. Siri can do that too.
Yeah, I do that.
Or you can text and drive. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Or you integrate your ChatGPT into your calendar.
Okay. So I just want to go through a couple of tips because you're going to start using this tracker and you're probably going to have some questions that come up and I'm not around. And so I want to try to get ahead of some of those at least before we skedaddle. So what I have found when I start introducing a tracker system to clients is they have a hard time figuring out, when do I track? Like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to make 25 calls this week, but like, when do I actually like put tally marks to it? And all of a sudden it'll be Sunday. I need to update the tracker and I don't know how many calls I made because I didn't track it throughout the week. Yeah. So you need a system that you're able to stick with throughout the week too. A system for the system. So you could always have your activity tracker up in front of you. Like it could always be something that's up on your browser, just like your calendar and CTM and whatever else. So that when you're in an activity block in your calendar, you've just got it up right there and you're just adding ones or tallies directly into the sheet. Sometimes you might be on the go, and so you might not have your laptop in front of you. So the Notes app on your phone would be a really interesting one for you to use. So you could just list out your activities as bullet points that you need to get done for the week. And each week you pull it up. Right? You just made phone calls, or you took a phone call with somebody, you just open it up and you add a tally. So that's a way to just do it on your phone and on the go to keep track daily. You can also add widgets to your phone. I have not personally done this, but you can add widgets where you can just click it and it will tally. So I made a phone call. So one widget for phone call, one widget for newsletter, one widget for whatever, and you just click it when you've done it. Or the good old-fashioned way, paper tally marks. You got a Post-it note, a piece of paper, whatever it is. You write it out and you just tally, and that's fine. That's all you need to do. You don't need something sophisticated, so that is acceptable. And Devin's laughing because this is her life. Yeah.
But can I say something that you really helped me with?
Yeah.
Because same thing, like I'm like, I don't know how to keep track of the calls because I make the calls 99%, I'm in the car driving. Yeah. And then I don't, and because I'm counting database calls and 36 touch calls as two different categories. So I was like, I don't know how to keep them separate. And so I just started, I have a notepad on my desk and I put 36 in database and and then I started tallying. So now what I'm doing is when I come home at the end of the day, so that it's easier one day versus an entire week, I look at my text messages and my phone calls and then I just mark the ones that I did for each one that day. And then at the end of the week, I go to my activity tracker and now I can track both and see exactly how many calls I made for each one. And it is just a paper.
Yeah, it works. It works. Yeah.
Question for that.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is to add the name that the person you're talking to, or if you called they didn't answer, if you called and there was a conversation?
How are you gonna? Yeah.
Like, is all of that, or are you just saying 25 calls, tally.
Yeah. So you guys will have to ask yourself how you want to hold yourself accountable to this. Is it just that you make 25 calls, or is that you make 25 calls and if somebody doesn't answer, you leave them a voicemail and or send them a text message because now you've made a contact. So even if you don't have a conversation, or is it that you want to have 25 conversations? Because that means you're probably calling 100 people. Two very different things. So figure out which one it is for you. Yeah.
My mentor prints out her database with a column and keeps it in her car every quarter.
Yeah.
Calls everybody quarterly, and so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what order, when,
Yeah. It's just,
but when it's done, check. And
Yeah.
It's like on a piece of paper beside, but like, then you scan down as every check, this
Yeah.
order.
it's fantastic.
Like, sometimes that works for people.
Yeah. It's the paper method. It's visual.
You're gonna use it.
Exactly. So you'll find a system, and that's really easy. If you've tagged all of your people as 36 touch in your CRM, don't worry, you will by January. So if you haven't, you just print that out as a CSV file, right? You grab your 36 touch people, print that out as a CSV file, clean it up into a little bit cuter of an Excel document, print that bad boy, and bam. Whatever works. So I want to speak to what Devin just said a minute ago, because that ties into this next point, which is you can create routine by adding it on to something that you already do. So as an example, at the end of your day, you do your last call, you send your last email, whatever it is, then you go in and update your activity tracker. You let that be the last work activity that you do each day. Right? Or every time you, I don't know, if you have a Monday meeting or a daily morning meeting or motivation or after your workout for the day, whatever is consistent, okay, whenever I do this thing, I go in and I update my activity tracker. And you just attach it to something you're already doing frequently enough so that it's not like a brand new habit, right? It's a habit building thing rather than a habit starting thing. Keep it open on your browser. We already talked about this, but I mean it. Keep it open all the time. This is one of those things that you want to start to look at on a daily, every other day, minimum a weekly basis to keep your goals right in front of your face. And I assure you it will help you to quantify your time or qualify your time a little bit better. Oh, there's this thing, I got invited to do whatever. You look at your activity tracker, actually I'm behind on my goals this week. Do I really need to do that? Or do I need to sit down and make some phone calls for an hour and then let myself go do that? I can send out a daily or weekly paper tracker if you guys want. I made one just because I know you guys like paper. So, Kendall's face. So I made this, I can send this. That's just something that you can print for each week if you want. Yeah, all of you are like, yeah. So I'll send that out. You're not gonna have it for probably a week or so because I'm gonna send it when I get the video recording. So just try this next week, but I will send this to you. But look how easy this is for you to make too. Very simple. But I'll send it and you can print 52 of them and have them in a binder and that can be there for the next year. It's great. Yeah. Isn't it so funny? You can do, this is the crazy thing though. You can do a great business plan. You guys can have sat through all of this. You can do your activity tracker. You can do all of these things and you can still choose to not use these systems. So at some point you have to choose to use the system. Here's another one, which is the accountability piece. Hire a coach or find a buddy. I'm gonna help you with this through this program, but I do want you to start to think about what's beyond this program for you. I've had a business coach since I was 19. I cannot imagine running a business without one. Game changer. I don't need accountability at this point in my career, but whoo, did I need accountability the first 3 years. That's all we got today. The amount of deep breaths, it's so good.